नमस्कार व्यूअर्स, मैं बीएन शर्मा। क्या आपने कभी कल्पना किया जिस रास्ते में आना जाना हो रहा है उसको कभी बंद किया तो आपका ज़िंदगी में क्या असर होगा? क्या आपने ऐसा कल्पना किया? कल्पना करके देखिए, मणिपुर में जो लाइफ लाइन जो है, जो NH2 एंड NH37, ये अक्सर ब्लॉक करता रहता है। ये ब्लॉकेज जो है काफ़ी सालों से चले आ रहा है, और जबकि मणिपुर में टोटल 11 नेशनल हाईवेज है। एज पर द लिस्ट गिवन बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, देयर आर 11 नेशनल हाईवेज इन मणिपुर। इसमें इस 11 में से 2 नेशनल हाईवेज मणिपुर का लाइफ लाइन है, विच इज कनेक्टिंग फ्रॉम कोहिमा टू इम्फाल एंड चुरचानपुर, दैट इज कॉल्ड नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 2, एंड नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 37 दैट इज कनेक्टिंग फ्रॉम इम्फाल टू जिरीबाम। ये दोनों नेशनल हाईवेज है, ये मणिपुर का लाइफ लाइन है। ये मणिपुर में जितने भी रह रहे हैं, जितने भी समुदाय, इनके लिए लाइफ लाइन है, क्योंकि यहाँ से हमारा इसेंशियल कमोडिटीज एंड POL, जो पेट्रोलियम ऑयल एंड लुब्रिकेंट्स, जो है इस रास्ते से आ जाता है। तो आप कल्पना कीजिए, अगर आपके पास आसपास जो रास्ता जो है आप रोज जाते हो, आपकी ज़िंदगी में महत्वपूर्ण, उसको अगर किसी भी तरीके से ब्लॉक किया जाए तो इसका क्या असर होगा आपकी ज़िंदगी में। सिमिलरली मणिपुर में जो रहने वाला जितने भी लोग हैं, इनके ऊपर कितना असर पड़ता है, ये मैं आप सोच सकते हैं। और मैं ब्रीफली बताऊंगा मणिपुर में ब्लॉकेज से क्या क्या परेशानी हो जाता है पब्लिक को।
Nandu Kumar Sharma, is it correct that this National Highway 37 is blocked on purpose?
Yes, Kartike, it is not the first time it has been blocked. It has been blocked for a long time, more than a year, in the view of the public eye, especially the national medias. Otherwise, before the crisis of this Kuki and Maitai happened on 3rd May last year, so before that also a lot of atrocities are happening, especially the Maitai communities, the Maitai drivers and the Maitai vehicles have been stopped by various armed groups, which I have been mentioning frequently. So they take a lot of illegal taxes and they just allow the goods to pass before this crisis. However, after the crisis on 3rd May, they even stopped. They have not allowed movement of the goods belonging to Maitai community, the vehicles belonging to the Maitai community, and not even the personals of the Maitai community are not allowed to use these national highways. And also goods and commodities, which are not only meant for the Maitai communities, which is meant for all the communities living in Imphal and the other peripheral areas which are to be distributed from Imphal, are also affected because of such blockade by the Kuki community after this crisis. And also the goods carried by other communities, the Maitai Pangal, the Mayang, we call the non-Manipuris outside Manipur, and other communities are allowed to bring, and they are also impose heavy taxes, heavy illegal taxes that has caused the rise of prices. And this is giving a burden to all the community, not only to the Maitai community, to the whole community living in the Manipur. It will be wrong to say by the Kuki community that since supply line or logistic supply line has been blocked by the Maitai from the Imphal, they are retaliating. It is absolutely incorrect. It's a violation of human rights by denying the basic rights of food and other essential commodities, including the oil and petroleum. So they must understand, especially the armed groups and the leaders in various CSOs, they must understand certain demands may be legal or illegal or within the purview of the democratic. They must continue if they desire to do so, their demands. But however, denying the human rights of all the communities is very bad, and that is condemned, and the government of India must take action. The denial is not only for the Maitai community. Maitai is suffering more, that's no doubt. However, governments should take immediate action, and the such action should be banned immediately.
मैंने जो थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च किया है उसको आपके सामने रखता हूँ। और ये मणिपुर में जो रोड ब्लॉकेज जो हो रहा है, ये इकोनॉमिक ब्लॉकेज एक इनका डिमांड को फुलफिल करने के लिए एक जरिया बनाते रहा है काफ़ी सालों से। नेशनल हाईवेज ब्लॉकेड इन मणिपुर, it has been raised in the parliament by various MPs. In 2005, Dr. Maina, who was the MP of that time, he has brought out this issue in the parliament. He asked the question, In 2010, D. Raja, another MP from South, he also brought out this problem, and in 2015 also some of the MPs has brought out these problems of national highway blockade at Manipur. So you can find out from the internet. There will be many such questions asked in the parliament, and the answer to such questions from the parliament is the Manipur state government has been advised to take necessary action, and sometimes they give additional 2 or 3 battalions of CRPF or security forces to guard the national highways. So, to my opinion, after seeing the parliament questions and answers and the number of blockade happening in these 2 national highways, that is national highway number 2 and national highway number 37, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि it is a failure by the law enforcing agencies. So इसका दायित्व मेरे हिसाब से बनता है the state government and the law enforcing agencies of the security forces. So ये हमारा हक है जो law enforcing agencies को we can ask, and the ruling government at the state are responsible for giving these national highways as safe passes for all the transport and for all the people, irrespective of the who is using this road. Presently, we are seeing that the Meitei have been restrained from using these national highways because of the security reasons, which should not happen. We have sufficient security forces available in Manipur. If at all there is shortage in security forces, the central government is ready to give, as we can see from the questions and answers from the parliament of previous years, which I have mentioned. So इसमें ये एक सरकार का दायित्व है नेशनल हाईवेज को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए, एंड मैं अपील करता हूँ भारत सरकार और मणिपुर सरकार से कि ये नेशनल हाईवेज को हमेशा 24/7 प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहिए, एंड इसमें ड्राइवर्स को खास करके बहुत सारे परेशानी होता है. They have to bring the essential commodities from Guwahati via National Highway number 2 or National Highway number 37. And one more problem is these truck drivers, when they come along with the convoy security forces, they are attacked, and many of them injured, and many of them died during this course of their duty in bringing the essential commodities from Guwahati to Imphal. And ये तो एक direct consequence हो गया, the killing of drivers by the bandh supporters and armed groups. And secondly, the effect is the price rise of the essential commodities and petroleum oil and lubricants. ये सब कारण, इस ब्लॉकेज के कारण हमारा मणिपुर में कॉमन पीपल लोग जो है वो बहुत सफ़र करता है. आप सबने देखा है आफ्टर द 3rd May last year, the crisis in Manipur, the blockade is more frequent, and for the Meiteis it is absolutely no go in National Highway number 2 and National Highway number 37, which is very unfortunate. बहुत सारे लोग जो मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट के लिए बाहर जो जाना होता है, like going to Guwahati and Delhi for medical treatment, it becomes very expensive. बस में जो आदमी बस में ट्रेवल करके जो 1200-1500 में गुवाहाटी पहुंच सकता है, जो अभी इनको अपनी जेब से खर्च करना होता है 4 से 5 हज़ार, which is very high. And also the essential commodities reaching to Imphal have become very expensive. And one more point is the business owners in Manipur, especially the Meiteis, they are not able to sustain the business, because when they order the goods in their name, it is confiscated in these national highways if the goods belongs to the Meitei community. So government of India must take some actions for guarding these national highways, and also till such national highways are not safe for the valley people, the government should think of giving a concession for the valley people in the air tickets and sending of goods through air. Highways blockage जो है ये illegal है. It is direction given by the Manipur High Court and the Supreme Court that the restriction or strike or burn is an illegal. इसमें आप नेट में चेक कर सकते हैं, काफ़ी सारे डिसीजंस, काफ़ी सारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट और वेरियस हाई कोर्ट्स के रूलिंग्स है कि आप स्ट्राइक और बंद नहीं कर सकते जो बाकी लोगों की फंडामेंटल राइट्स को हर्ट करते हो. सो ब्लॉकिंग ए नेशनल हाईवे इज एन इलीगल and it is punishable under relevant acts of Indian Penal Code IPC 1860 section 341, that is wrongful restraint. And आजकल भारतीय न्याय संहिता में इसके इक्विवेलेंट है सेक्शन 283, डेंजर और ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन इन पब्लिक वे. और दूसरा सेक्शन है भारतीय न्याय संहिता में सेक्शन 253, इट्स रॉन्गफुल रिस्ट्रेंट. इसके तहत एक दंडनीय अपराध है. द रिलेवेंट लॉज व्हिच कैन punish the highway blockers, those who are calling ban or blockade of the national highways, can cover under the UAPA 1967. Section 15 defines what is terrorist, and the act of blockade of national highways, it comes under the purview of UAPA 1967. It reads, whoever does any act with intent to threaten or likely to threaten the unity, integrity, security, economic security or sovereignty of India, or with intent to strike terror or likely to strike terror in the people or any section of the people in India or in any foreign country by using bombs, dynamites or other explosive substances or inflammable substances or firearms or other lethal weapons or poisonous or noxious gases or other chemicals or by any other substances, whether biological, radioactive, nuclear or otherwise of a hazardous nature, by or any other means which can cause death, injuries, loss or damage to the property, disruption of any supplies, services of essential services to the life of community in India or any foreign country, comes under the purview of UAPA 1967. So the act of the above mentioned acts have been frequently happening in National Highway number 2 and National Highway number 37 by blocking, by burning the goods or by other means, and we have seen so many examples. So this comes under the purview of UAPA. So government, I request the government, I appeal to the government that these acts can be applied. It appears to me that central government as well as state government do not take adequate measures to protect these national highways. There is no enforcement of law. There is no punitive action taken to those who are blocking these two national highways, which is the lifeline for Manipur. Imphal is the logistic hub for all the people living in Manipur. So when these two lifeline national highways are blocked, the supply chain management becomes disrupted, and the impact of this is price rise in essential commodities as well as the LPG and the petroleum. It also causes higher cost of living and higher logistics. Poor people have to travel by spending more money because air travel is always expensive than the travel by road. The travel cost which would have been the travel cost by road would have been cost the poor or common people about 1200 to 1500 rupees. Now they have to spend at least 4 to 5,000 to travel by air from Imphal to Guwahati. And also the business community of the Meitei, they cannot transport or they cannot have their goods through by road, so they have to pay more in the air for transporting the goods by air. So it becomes impossible for the Meitei businessmen to sustain the business and also to live in a competitive market. So practically Meitei are forced
not to do business outside Imphal. So मैतेई समुदाय के लिए ये एक बहुत कठिन समय है. And not only मैतेई समुदाय, the people living in Imphal are having a tough time. The Supreme Court has said the bandh or blockade is illegal for violation of others' fundamental rights. And however, in the last 16 months of the crisis in Manipur, the Kuki community have been blocking the national highways by neglecting the decision or direction of the Supreme Court. Sufficient road protection force, highway protection force must be provided to these two vital national highways at all the times. According to a survey conducted in 2018, an economic blockade costs around 3 crores per day of the public money in Manipur. But what's most distressing is the absence of immediate government responses. So it is high time that the law enforcing agencies, they must act upon these highway blockers and give punitive actions, and must give punitive actions under relevant laws like National Highways Act 1956, National Highways Protection Act, and Indian Penal Code IPC section 341, which is now known as section 253 of Bharatiya Nyay Sahitya, which is for wrongful restraint, and the Motor Vehicles Act 1988.
The use of highways by all communities should be ensured by the law enforcing group or law enforcing agencies. Thank you very much. I request you please subscribe this channel as well as please like and share this